Welcome back, disciples, to Discipleship Ministries. My name is Dylan Poindexter. I'm the leader here at Discipleship Ministries. I want to say thank you so much for clicking on, tuning into today's video. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome to this ministry where we believe that we are growing in Christ together through God's Word, through powerful, encouraging messages, discipling together, growing in Christ so that we can go out and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Again, if this is your first time, please feel free to go down to the description below, hit the notification bell, turn it to all, hit the subscribe button so you can join this community. And if you'd like to, anybody, not even just first time guests, but anybody, please feel free to share this message with anybody, co-workers, employers, pastors, youth pastors, counselors, whoever, school administration, I don't even care. Just share it so that we can continue to grow. And that's how we spread. That's how we grow. That's how we grow this ministry, is by you guys sharing this message with people that you know so they can come and we can grow together. I want to say thank you so much. If you'd like to support this ministry, please feel free to go down to the description below. There's a link to a PayPal, and I want to say thank you so much for all your generosity, and thank you again. Today we're going to be continuing kind of our thoughts. I told you guys last video, last time, that we are going to be kind of diving into some emotions. We're going to be diving into some deep topics. Last week we kind of talked about loneliness and abandonment, and I don't think I really mentioned that in the video, but we talked about being blocked by God and feeling like God is just not there. Today I've entitled our thought today, "What If?" And today we're going to be dealing with the topic of anxiety, and I want to encourage you that this is going to be a message that I believe will change your outlook on anxiety. Psalms 94, I'm going to be reading the whole thing. It reads like this: O Lord, the God of vengeance, O God of vengeance, let your glorious justice shine forth. Arise, O God, judge of the earth. Give the proud what they deserve. See, the first two verses were very, come on, God. Yeah, you're the God of vengeance. Yes. But then verse 3, how long, O Lord? How long will the wicked be allowed to gloat? How long will they speak with arrogance? How long will these evil people boast? They crush your people, Lord, hurting those you claim as your own. They kill widows and foreigners and murder orphans. The Lord isn't looking, they say, and besides, the God of Israel doesn't care. Think again, you fools. When will you finally catch on? Is he deaf, the one who made your ears? Is he blind, the one who formed your eyes? He punishes the nations. Won't he also punish you? He knows everything. Doesn't he also know what you are doing? The Lord knows people's thoughts. He knows they are worthless. Joyful are those you discipline, Lord, those you teach with your instructions. You give them relief from troubled times until a pit is dug to capture the wicked. The Lord will not reject his people. He will not abandon his special possession. Judgment will again be founded on justice, for those with virtuous hearts will pursue it. Who will protect me from the wicked? Who will stand up for me against evildoers? Unless the Lord had helped me, I will soon have settled in the silence of the great. I cried out, I am slipping. But your unfailing love, O Lord, supported me. When doubts filled my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. Can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders who decrees permit injustice? They gang up against the righteous and condemn the innocent to death. But the Lord is my fortress. My God is the mighty rock where I hide. God will turn the sins of evil people back on them. He will destroy them for their sins. The Lord our God will destroy them. Now, the reason I read Psalms 94 is I want you to pay attention, because the author of this psalm continuously goes back and forth. He starts off by, God of vengeance, please come here. But then he starts asking questions. How long is evil going to scour the earth? And then he goes into, your justice is mighty. But who will help me? I had helped. God, you had helped me, but who will help me now? And he keeps going back. So when I read this verse, it makes me think of the battle of anxiety, the battle of the what if, right? We're talking about what if. What does it mean to be anxious? Anxious means thinking on things in fear, right? We know that anxiety, unchecked, right, leads to stress. Unchecked stress leads to depression, and feel these thoughts of fear. Fear leads in this place. This is the enemy's stomping grounds, fear. Because if he can get us worried about the what ifs in life, if he can get us worried about, well, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And well, I didn't plan for this. Or, well, what if this happens? If he can get you asking what if, you can never understand who he is. Now, I'm not saying that if you've asked what if in your life, that means that you don't know who God is. Let me correct that. Let me revert back and explain. What that means is that the enemy will put you in a place of fear, and you will be looking at fear so much in the eye that you'll lose focus on God. See, if David would have focused on Goliath, all the other people in Israel were scared of Goliath. Why? Because they focused on Goliath. But see, David came in and said, God, you're with me, and I know that we got this. See, David came in with a perspective of God. If you don't go into your life with the perspective of God being with you, then you will feel alone, and when the giant comes out, you will look at the giant for what it is and not the stepping stone that God is going to use to elevate your faith. You see, if I were to ask the question, what is this author expressing? He's battling. He's two sides of one coin. He's asking the questions. He's being real. And he's asking God the what if. How long? How long? How long? That's a what if question. What if they survive? How long will they survive? What if evil just reigns tyrant? And then he has to go back and he has to catch himself with his faith. And he's like, God, you are so good and you helped and you're going to do this. See, our emotions are real. See, God has given us a way to overcome them. He says, don't lean on your own understanding. See, our understanding is what we feel. That's how we understand, right? I don't understand something because I just know it, right? Let me put it like this. Let's say that somebody walked up to you right now and slapped you across the face. What do you understand? Well, you understand that you're hurt, right? It probably hurts. Why? Because you're feeling hurt. You're feeling angry. It's your feelings that help you understand what to do next. Whether you're going to punch them in the face, whether you're going to, turn the other cheek, whatever the answer is, it's based on your feelings that you understand what just happened. See, that's the same way with our life. We have to be grounded to that when the feelings come, we don't look at the feelings and we say, oh, I understand that this is what's happening because I feel this. No, it says, lean not on your own understanding, seek His will. His will calm you. He will guide your steps. He's going to tell you, hey, I know you don't understand this, but trust me, right? 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. I told this to a couple of our youth students one time. I was talking to them and we were talking about this topic and I said, when you start asking the question, what if? When you start asking, it's time to start casting, right? And I know that's kind of a funny little saying to say, but it's true. When you start asking, it's time to start casting. See, that's what it doesn't say. It says cast all your anxieties on him. It doesn't say leave them and think about them all day. And it doesn't say, well, what if? No, it says, oh man, what if? Cast. I'm casting it. I'm not asking myself. But see, when we ask ourselves, we're never going to have the right answer. No, it's when we ask him. It's when we cast it to him and say, God, I'm really struggling. What if this happens? And what if this happens? And it's that. When that happens, when you start casting your anxieties on him, he will give you a peace that surpasses what? All understanding, because it's going to pass what you feel. That's why it says a peace that surpasses understanding, because we understand by our feelings. It's our feelings that guide our understanding. But it's a peace that God gives us that surpasses our understanding, because it's the kind of peace that you have when the entire world is in a pandemic and you're at peace. It's a kind of peace that you have that when everything around you is crumbling, you still are strong. It's a peace that you have when you're diagnosed with cancer, that when people ask you, how are you doing? I'm blessed. I'm good. Because it's a peace that you can't compare. It's a peace that you cannot create. It is a peace that is only given by God when you start casting. If you were to take anything away from this message today, I would tell you that if you are asking questions, it's time to start casting them to God. See, the problem is, and let me say this real quick. The problem is a lot of people cast it to God, but see, sometimes it's about fish, right? I mean, some of you may be fishermen out there. If you've ever fished, you have to be patient. Ooh, that's not going to sit right with some of you, because you're like, wait a minute, hold on now. I am not very patient. I want the fish on the hook. I believe that when I, cast the reel, the fish should be right there, and then I'm reeling it up. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes you're going to cast a what if out to God, and you're going to have to do this. And you're going to have to watch the line. Because on the other side of that line is your anxiety. On the other side of that line is that burden that you just gave God, and you just cast it to him. But so many people are, okay, God, I'm casting. Oh, reel it back in. Okay. Whew, okay. There's no answer. Okay, well, I guess God doesn't have an answer, so I'm just going to hold on to it and struggle with it for a little while. No, that's not what happened. What happens is you have to cast and you have to relax. You have to cast and you have to sit back and you have to watch the line and wait for the bobber to go underwater. See, and God's doing this with your bait because you've casted it to him, and sometimes your bait is just doing like this, and you're like, is anything going to bite? And see, maybe that answer, now watch this, sometimes you're going to go like this and you're like, man, there's no fish, and your bobber's just going like this. Your worries are just going like this. Your anxieties are just going like this. And then all of a sudden you get past where you were and you reel it up. And you realize that the fish, the worm on the other side, that worry is gone. Well, I didn't get an answer. So how is it going? Because those are the what ifs that we worry about that actually never happen. Those are the worries that we worry about. What if I don't live to see 30? Well, now you're 42. So you're not worried about it. What if I don't get into college? Well, you just made it into college, so what is there to worry about? See, sometimes God doesn't give you an answer is because you haven't given yourself the time to wait. You're just waiting, right? Some of us worry in a place of waiting, and once we surpass what we were worried about, we're like, oh, there was no reason to worry. God, you got this. And God's like, yeah, I know. But my encouragement to you is that don't Don't sit in a place where, oh gosh, okay, wait, what if I don't? What if I don't make it? What if, my entire life, like what happens? See, God doesn't want you to live like this. He wants you to cast it and go about your day. And then guess what? When you turn around, guess what? Some of them, you're going to reel back in. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, God. That is the perfect answer for what I'm going through. Thank you so much. And then some of them, you're going to reel it back. Oh, wait. I don't need to worry about what worry was on the other end. Man, I have so many bobbers out. I don't even know how many. I have so many worries because I keep casting them to God. Some of them don't even have answers on the other side because I've already surpassed what I was worried about. And now I'm picking it up 3 months later and I'm like, what was I worried about? See, if you've never taken up the hobby of fishing, I encourage you to. In your spiritual life, some of you are like, no, Dylan, I'm not patient enough for fishing. Let's get patient enough for spiritual fishing. Let's get patient enough for spiritual casting. And when you cast it, you don't reel it back in looking for an answer tomorrow. And let me tell you something, I'm speaking to myself here. I'm not speaking to just you, I'm speaking to myself. Because there have been times in my life where I've cast and I've asked and I'm like, God, it's only been 2 hours. Why don't I have an answer? Because it's only been 2 hours. That answer hasn't come yet. Sometimes I cast it back out there and then I let it go a little bit and then I look and it's that exact bobber I was just telling you about. And what was this line again? I'm going to have to start labeling all my worries because I have so many fishing lines that I keep pulling up. I'd rather your boat be full of lines than your mind be full of thoughts. Cast. When you start asking, you start casting. Say it. Now, I'm not going to hear you say this, but I want you to say it. When I start asking, good, I'm going to assume everybody did that. I'm going to start casting. Good. I hope that you said that. And I hope you tell yourself that. Write it on a wall. Print it out on a piece of paper. Whatever you have to do. Make it well known so that you keep saying it. I felt like Dora the Explorer just then where I was sitting there and, do you see the bridge? No. Dora, turn around. That was me. That's a little side comment that I would probably say afterwards. But I'm going to leave this in so you guys, it's just funny. But I want to say thank you again. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. Turn the notification bell to all so you get notified of every single video that we do. I want to say thank you so much. If you'd like to support this ministry, please, the first way you can do that is share it. Share with everybody you know. Get this message out there that, if you know people that are struggling with anxiety, send it to them. Send this message to them and say, here, I just thought you should know this. When I start asking, I start casting. And please, thank you for that. The second way you could do that is by going down to our description, clicking the link, and signing up or clicking the link and giving to our ministry. I want to say thank you so much for your support and everything you do. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.